Samuel Carter, and I've chosen a pair of Vans as my cultural artifact. As silly as that sounds to put a pair of my shoes up as something that defines the culture that I associate with, I don't think anything better sums it up than these shoes. Vans were born in Anaheim, March 16th, 1966. They're cheap, they're comfy, they're light, and they feel like air to skate in. Without sounding too much like an advertisement, they're a great shoe. The quality is low, but with a little bit of shoe glue, you can resurrect these bad boys like at any given point. That's the great thing about them. Vans, in my honest opinion, I think they perfectly embody Los Angeles culture. From skaters to punkers, to jocks and cholos, to even the people that get called geeks, you will find them wearing a pair of these things. As a kid, I remember seeing every single person that was the embodiment of cool to me in a pair of these. Like I said, the skaters, the ones who I identified with the most, were always in a pair of them, as ripped up as they could be. And one more thing I like about them is the fact that they perfectly blend in with any facet of fashion. From the highest of fashion to the lowest of just the most basic, everyday white t-shirt and jeans, you will find that Vans can perfectly fit right into those. I personally have a love for fashion, so this is something that really resonated with me. While I didn't learn anything from Vans directly, there is quite a bit that I learned from these while wearing them. I learned to be a better judge of character, to look both ways before I cross somebody's path. I learned fast, and I learned very hard in them. You know, there were quite a few experiences that I think were a big part of my life that definitely happened because I was running around, beating myself, feeling cool. Donning a pair is like an instant link to those years of finding myself as a teenager. From the miles that I walked in them, to the streets that I skated in them, to the parties I went where they ended stinking of beer, sweat, and even into the next morning where they were covered in glass and I was rummaging around picking up cans to recycle from the party. I still had a pair of those Vans on. Even when I went painting into the Los Angeles River with some of us, I still had those on, as I'm sure they were for others. I try not to put so much value on material goods in my life, and I don't think anybody should, but when I have a pair of beat up, cracked Vans in my hand or on my feet, it really does make me feel like I have some sort of sense of home in them. And I think that's quite hard to find in any sort of object. So that is why I chose this crappy looking pair of shoes as my cultural artifact. Head back to